Hi there, it's Sam from fetalstock.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a project that I put up a picture of this on my Facebook page quite a few weeks ago now, when I originally filmed this, asking people if they could guess what it was, and I had lots of people saying, oh, it's a post-it note holder, or maybe it's a little concertina file to hold 3x3 cards, or somebody asked if it was something using magnets, which I use, I've showcased in videos. It's not, it's actually a pouch to hold a tea bag. This came free bizarrely with a book I ordered, and the company who posted it out to me put a tea bag in it, and I thought, well, you know what, I will do something with it. I don't drink tea personally, but I know lots of people do, and I know that these make really good little extra gifts, but also for craft fairs, and I know people are beginning to think about their Christmas supplies and what they're going to be making for craft fairs and things. So I decided I was going to put it together, particularly for you guys. Let me just pop this in. It doesn't have side closures, it has the ribbons to stop the tea bag falling out. Let me just close it up again. And that's how the tea bag closes, so I wanted to make it nice and quick and simple. And as I say, I did film it, and I filmed it with this cardstock here, but actually I wasn't mad keen on the end result colours. I didn't like it enough, so I'm refilming now, but I wasn't planning to be filming because I had an operation in my mouth only a few days ago, so aware that I might sound a little bit muffled, I decided I was going to film lots of things ahead of time. But like I said, I didn't like this project, so I'm now filming now. What I hadn't anticipated was the big bruise on my hand from where they put the drip in to give me the anaesthetic to send me off to sleep. So I'll just let you know what that bruise is around. It's nothing sinister, it's just where the drip was. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling and I'm going to make another version of this. Now, I'm going to be using the Stampin' Trimmer, because I'm going to be doing this one in metric measurements, but I will give you, as always, the imperial measurements as we go along. So let me extend the arm out, move that out of the way. And the cardstock I've just got some Very Vanilla, that I can't pick up right this second. Very Vanilla, it measures 10.5 centimetres by 21 centimetres, so given that the width of our British cardstock is 21 centimetres, you could get 2 out of a piece of A4. And in Imperial that's 4 1/8 that way and 8 1/4 that way. So you guys in America who've got wider cardstock, you can make it a little bit longer, but again you could get a couple out as well. So we're only going to score in one direction. Move the trimmer blade. And I'm going to score this. You have the long side at the top. The first score line, which I've lost on my notes, is 7.5 centimetres. So I'm using the grey blade, that's the scoring blade. So 7.5, 8.5, and at 18 centimetres. And in Imperial, that's 3 inches, 3 3/8 of an inch, and 7 1/8 of an inch, and it will make it a smidgen difference, but not enough to worry about. You could certainly still fit a tea bag in, or anything that was of that size. Let's move that out of the way. I'm going to fold on these score lines and burnish them. And then I've got my designer series paper. This time I've used Venetian Romance. I used Afternoon Picnic on these two, but I've got Venetian Romance here. And these measure 10 centimetres wide by 2.5 centimetres, and this one is 10 by 6. And in Imperial you would have 4 by 2 1/4 and 4 by 1 inch. So what I want to do is stick those down. Oh, I forgot to get my snail out. There we go. So I'm just going to pop these in place. And you're sort of kind of lining it up so that it's equidistant around the sides and the bottom rather than in the middle, because obviously there is a slight overlap. And the same on the top. And this one obviously you would line it up all the way round. And then I want to punch the little holes here, which is where you feed the ribbon through. Don't go too far in, but just, all I've done really is, this is the little 4-petal flower from the Itty Bitty Punch pack, and all I've done is I've lined this edge up here with this score line, but again, not going in too far. So there's one, and the same on the other side. And then on this back section here, again there, and again I've just lined up with, whoops, with this score line here. And like I say, this is where you're going to feed the ribbon through. Right, so I'm going to put that in, and I'll put the ribbon in now so that I know that I can fit the tea bag in. And this is the Very Vanilla seam binding ribbon. So, try around through both of those holes. Through the back. And then I'm just going to trim that off and see if I can get a vague kind of bow today. Probably not. I will try. This seam binding ribbon is so slippery. It's getting caught on my fingernails and not pulling through properly. There we go. It's a kind of bow. I'll just neaten those bits off. Definitely with seam binding you want to be coming at an angle, otherwise it tends to unravel. You can see it's just going slightly jagged on the edges there. There we go. Right, so now I've got that positioned, I can now decide where I'm going to put my brad. And I've got these are the antique brads, which are very, very pretty. There's lots of different designs, but there's also different finishes. So there's this sort of more brassy finish, which I used over here. The more kind of a pewtery finish, and this is sort of just, this one here is even, it's kind of just battered gold really. So if I work out roughly where I want it to close but not be too hard. So, or not too hard to open. So I will go about there. Looks about right. And you know what, actually it doesn't matter too much if it's not in exactly the right place, because you can move them. So that was about right. Okay, move that out of the way for a second, and then I'm just going to stamp the little sentiment. Now this is from, I've lost the stamp set, I've put it down, I was very organised. Nope, can't see it. It's from the six-sided sampler set. What have I done with that? Oh, found it. It was behind me. The six-sided sampler. So I'm not actually using those, but it was the sentiment in the middle I wanted. So I've got Hello Sweet Friend. And then I've got my Tangerine Tango ink, because that's the colour that's in the background here. I've got my stamp already prepped up. And then punch that out with the large oval punch. I'm going to put it ever so slightly off to one side, because obviously I want the brad to poke through on one bit. Got my sponge and my ink. Just sponge the edges a little. And then again, back with my paper piercer, decide where I'm going to put my hole. And now I can feed my brad through into all of the parts. So that one there, through there, split it open, and then grab my tea bag. I'm going to pinch it out of here. Like I say, I don't drink tea, so I only have the one tea bag on the go. And that just fits nicely between the ribbon. Then you pop it close, and that is how you make an easy tea bag pouch, but but without anything falling out of the sides and without having to do lots of scoring, folding, sticking and anything like that. And I think it's quite nice, and you can see, you know, I could see quite a few of these on maybe a craft stall or something like that. They take up minimal room. There you go. I don't know if it could stand. Would it stand? No, probably not. But, you know, you could have a whole load of these in all sorts of different colours and decorations all stacked together, and maybe even make the cardstock match the inside of the tea bag. Actually, I did quite well there with an orange one. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the project. Apologies for the bruise. And if you want to get hold of anything, you know what to do. Get in touch, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.